my channel where we play our way. So this is how to play Other Side by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. This is a requested song, so I'm taking care of this request. And there's 6 chords you need. So there's different ways to play it. So if you rewind back to the intro, I actually played the same chords in a different way, at a different pitch or a different tone, right? Different area of the neck. So the 6 chords you're gonna need are an A minor, an F chord, a C chord, a G chord, an E minor, and an A chord. So now some of those you might have to play just once or twice, and that's it. So that if you have trouble playing that chord in particular, you can just get it out of the way. You know, just play it once or twice, and that's it, right? So to start off, right, to play the intro, you need the 4 chords. You need an A minor, an F chord, a C chord, and a G chord. So the way I do it, and the way I believe is correct to the recording, is to play the bar chords. So the bar chords, so I'm going to show you both, and I'm going to show you the difference. So the bar chord for the A minor would be this. Right? Or if you play the open chord. The tone, it sounds a little too dark on the open chord version, right? Too much of the minor sound. So what you're gonna do is, I prefer you play if you can only play the open chord, all power to you. You can play it that way. However, the bar chord version is gonna be, I like to bar the entire 5th fret. For this song, you don't particularly need the bar, and I'll explain. So you can do the bar if you want to. So you bar the entire 5th fret with your index finger, or what you can do is you put your ring and pinky finger on the 7th fret of the A and the D. So it looks like this. Get it closer for you guys. And then you can bar the entire 5th fret if you want to. So if you do that, it would look like this. If you can't bar the entire 5th fret, you actually don't need it for the song, at least I don't think so. So what you do is you leave your ring and pinky exactly where they are on the 7th fret. Then you do half a bar, so you press, with your index finger, you press the G, B, and high E string of the 5th fret. So the tab version would be, you have the muted low E string, 7, 7, 5, 5, 5. And again, the tab will be on the screen the entire time I'm explaining it. So it goes like this. So here's with the bar and without it. With the bar. Without the bar. Not much of a difference, right? At least I don't hear a difference. So that same theory or that same idea can be applied to all the chords. So then after our A minor, we have an F chord. Now you can play the open one. In this case, the open, or whatever, it is technically a bar chord, but the beginner F chord, right, would be, you can play that one the entire song if you want to. And it would sound great. However, there's one on the 8th and 10th fret that's actually still an F chord. And for this song, for the intro, I like to use the bar chord on the 8th and the 10th fret. Then when I'm singing the actual, chorus and verses, I like to use the open version, the one on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fret. So an F chord, I'm going to show you how to play both ways, and I'll put them both on the screen at the same time. So to play the F chord, what you're going to do is you're going to bar the entire 8th fret with your index finger. Then you're going to do half a bar with your ring finger on the D, G, and B string on the 10th fret. So when you bar, it would look like this. You play all 6 strings. To play the other version, the typical normal version, the one on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fret, what you're going to do is you're going to take your ring and pinky and put it on the 3rd fret of the A and the D. Take your middle finger and put it on the 2nd of the G. And then take your index finger and bar the entire 6th fret. If you do it that way, it would look like this. If you can't do the full bar, what I suggest you do is the same thing. Instead of doing the full bar on the 6th fret, just leave your middle ring and pinky finger where they are on the 2nd and 3rd frets, and then bar the bottom 2 string, do half a mini bar with your index finger on the 1st fret on the B and the high E. Here's the difference with the bar and without. With the bar. Without it. slight difference. The difference is the low E string, the bass note, right? Again, it's a preference. It's up to you. If you find it, whatever's easier for you, you can kind of take this lesson in levels and kind of just say, play the easier version, then work your way up to the full bar chord as you progress. Then we have our C chord. So the same thing, same rules apply. So I play the one on the 8th, 9th, and 10th frets, and then I play the C chord on the 3rd and 5th fret. Now you can play the open one. I suggest you not do it. So for this lesson, I'm not going to teach you how to play the open C chord. So I'm going to play how to play both versions of the bar chord. So the one on the 8th, 9th, and 10th fret, what you're going to do is take your ringing pinky and put it on the 10th fret of the A and the D. Take your middle finger and put it on the 9th of the G string. Then take your index finger and bar the entire 8th fret. So it would look like this. If you can't do the full bar, same rules apply. Only press down the B and high E of the 8th fret. So here's with the full bar and without it. Again, the only difference being that low E string. So that's how to play this C major bar chord on the 8th, 9th, and 10th fret. Now the one on the 3rd and 5th fret is going to be, again, I honestly think this one's a little more difficult for the beginners because you're doing 2 bars, right? You're doing a full bar on the 3rd fret and you're doing half a bar with your ring finger on the 5th fret. So what it would look like is you have a full bar on the 3rd fret. You're not playing the low E string. I find it easier to bar all 6 strings and versus just trying to miss that low E string and barring the bottom 5. So it's just easier for me. It's a preference thing. It's up to you. And then you take your ring finger and you bar the D, G, and B string of the 5th fret. For those of you who need a close-up, it looks like this. I slant when I know, if you notice that I'm slanting my hand, it's just easier for me that way. I guess you can play like a downward force onto the neck because it's already kind of angled when I'm playing. So then it's kind of like I'm pressing down. I guess, I don't know, working gravity is something, I don't know, something like that. Anyways, it's my way of playing, right? This is why the motto of the channel is play it your way. So if you have it, that you can, for the intro, I like to play on the 8th and 9th and 10th frets. But when he's singing the actual chorus and the verses, I like to play the one on the 3rd and 5th fret. And then we have our G major bar chord. Now, I'm only going to teach you how to play. You can play the open chord version if you're used to it. I don't recommend it, but I prefer you play the one on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th fret, the bar chord version. So what you're going to do there is you're going to take your ringing pinky and put it on the 5th fret of the A and the D. Take your middle finger and put it on the 4th fret of the G string. Then you're going to bar the entire 3rd fret with your index finger. So it'll sound like this. For those of you who need a close-up, looks like this. If you can't do the full bar, same rules apply. Leave your middle ring and pinky finger where they are, and then bar the bottom 2 strings, the B and the high E on the 3rd fret. Again, the only difference being that low E string. So here's with the bar and then without. Not much of a difference. If it helps you get through the song, all power to you. Then, when he starts actually singing the verses, I heard your voice through a photograph, right? I'll play it briefly so you guys know what I'm playing. So what he's doing there, you have the A minor. With or without the bar, it's up to you. I heard your voice through a phone. E minor. Now for this song, I recommend you, I'm only going to show you how to play the E minor on the 7th, 8th, and 9th fret because the open version, it doesn't sound right. It just rings too loud. You can do it that way if you want to play an acoustic version of the song, but again, up to you. So you have an A minor, then you have your E minor. What you're going to do there is you're going to take your ringing pinky finger and put it on the 9th frets of the D and the G. Take your middle finger and put it on the 8th of the B. And then, again, I like to bar all 6 strings on the 7th fret with your index finger. So that would look like this. If you can't do the full bar once again, then just put your index finger on the 7th fret of the high E. So you're pressing down the bottom 4 strings. So it would be muted, muted, 9, 9, 8, 7. It's up to you. But the difference with this, the difficulty with this, is you have to not strike or not pick the low E and the A string. If you do that, it would sound like this. Doesn't sound right. So what I do, if I'm playing it, I guess I call it the easier way. If I'm playing it, I put my thumb over the low E and the A string, and I'm muting it. Again, it's a preference. And then our final chord is going to be an A chord. So on the word other side, I've got to take it on the other side. It's just one strum and you let it ring. Then you start singing. Right, that stuff. So only on the word other side he plays the A chord and lets it ring. To do that, you're pretty much doing the same thing as an A minor. The difference is that, so you have your ringing pinky on the 7th frets of the A and the D, same as the A minor. The only difference here is that you're putting your middle finger on the 6th fret of the G string. And then you're barring the entire 5th fret with your index finger. So that would look like this. Again, if you can't do the full bar, once again, press down the B and high E of the 5th fret and skip over that low E. So here's with the bar and then without. Again, the only difference being that low E. And yeah, guys, that's the entire song. Literally, just play that chord progression. So for the, I'll go through a quick review. So for the chorus, when it says, how long will I slide? That part, you're doing an A minor, an F, a C, and a G. And you repeat that chord progression up until the actual verses. When you start saying, let's see, look at the lyrics right here. When you start saying, I heard your voice through a photograph, the chord progression there is going to be A minor, E minor, and it goes back and forth up until the very last bar, the very last line. When you say, I've got to take it on the other side, it's going to be a G and then an A. So all together, we're going to review the chorus first, and then we're going to go through the verses. So, without I can't sing or else I'm going to get a copyright strike. But anyways, you have an A minor, F, C, G. One more time. A minor, F, C, G. Now the verses, A minor, E minor, A minor, E minor, A minor again, E minor one more time. Last line, G chord, A chord for one strum. One more time, the G and the A. And yeah, guys, that's the entire song. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you guys find it helpful, and I try to show you guys multiple ways to play and ways to work around it for those who are beginner and for those who are more on the intermediate level. So anyways, guys, thank you. I forget your YouTube username, but thank you for submitting the request for this song, and I appreciate any and all requests that you guys have, and I hope you guys enjoyed this and found this helpful, and don't forget to play it your way, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. So thank you guys for watching.